Hi guys, Elon Musk, the shadow president, was interviewed over the weekend where he spoke about the tariffs that Agent Orange had imposed. It seems that, at least according to this clip, that the CEO of Tesla and the fake government department Doge is against such economic barriers. Musk also spoke about freedom of movement between the US and Europe, which would fly in the face of what the anti-immigration MAGA who are backing Trump at the moment want. Perhaps the type of freedom of movement Elon is talking about is somewhat different to what we're all familiar with. Have a listen.
And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs. And also more freedom of people to move between Europe and North America, if they wish. If they wish to work in Europe or wish to work in America, they should be allowed to do so, in my view. So that has certainly been my advice to the president.
Is he taking that advice? It doesn't seem to be the case. He's planning on deporting tens of thousands of people, even people coming from Europe. There was, I believe, a French scientist who was deported because of what he had written on social media. So I don't know if Donald Trump is actually listening to Elon Musk anymore, or if Elon Musk is even being honest here. Now, I want to go back to the tariffs that he mentioned. He wants to move to a situation where there are zero tariffs. Well, that's the opposite of what Donald Trump is doing at the moment. And Donald Trump doesn't seem to be embracing any idea of rolling back these tariffs. Now, I have a feeling he probably will. The pressure that would be applied to Republican politicians is going to become too great that they're going to eventually ditch Trump, or at least put pressure on him. And that's going to result in probably a lot of these tariffs being rolled back. The damage will already have been done, and it's very difficult to operate with the United States when Donald Trump is imposing tariffs one day and then removing them the next. But the idea of zero tariffs doesn't make a lot of sense, because tariffs are there to protect domestic industries. And a free trade area, well, the US and the EU have different standards when it comes to products. So do we see the US adopting EU standards? Do we see the EU adopting US standards? What's going to happen? You're always going to have a limit on the trade because of different standards. And the idea that the US and the EU, they could have some sort of better trading arrangement, but you're not going to get to a state where the trade is free. Because once again, you have different standards. You're always going to have some sort of non-tariff barriers. And I don't see the European Union adopting to US standards, especially at the moment. And also, even if you did have some sort of free trade agreement, Donald Trump is completely unreliable. Now, when it comes back to the freedom of movement thing, what is he talking about here? Because there have been allegations leveled at him that he's a racist and he just wants European immigration. He doesn't want immigration from the rest of the world. Yes, but we've already seen somebody who traveled to the US and was deported because of tweets or because of comments on social media. So Donald Trump and MAGA are against immigration. Doesn't matter, it seems, where the immigration is coming from. They're against it. They're happy to see people leave the United States. Experts, scientists, doctors, they're closing down departments, firing thousands of federal employees, closing down the Department of Health and Human Services. This is going to result in physicians, it's going to see scientists, going to see doctors, specialists leave the United States and not come back. How are you going to get in the staff you need if you're putting up massive barriers? So when Elon Musk talks about, I'm advising the president, well, what advice are you giving him? And what advice is he actually taking?